It's Odisha. Uh, I'm putting out the results. BJP 12 and BJD 9. Now, Brijesh, the question is, यहाँ तो शादी का इंटेंट तो अनाउंस हो गया, पर शादी हुई नहीं. ओके, कहने का
शादी की जरूरत नहीं है.
now there is a flux. You know, I have not used the word ki mehndi, I have not used the word ki anguthi ceremony has happened. Something has happened. Now this is the opinion poll that has come. Obviously it has to be, it's done over a period of time. It also tells us that they are together. It's a clean sweep. There is no one out there.
Well,
if
they come together, then definitely there is no doubt that it's going to be clean sweep. But honestly speaking, these figures are, I have slight suspicion as far as how valid these figures are, because I don't see BJD being
Strong
the
doubt,
junior.
huh?
Strong doubt that BJD is going to be junior, because Naveen Babu has proven his detractors and, all the political pundits wrong so many times that, I would urge to be on the side of Naveen Babu rather than to be on the side of the pollster who was giving this figure.
I mean, I would reverse the number as of now.
Yeah, I agree.
And also the fact that Karthik and Brijesh, if you look at Modi, his entire politics in Odisha has been at a complete departure from his politics in any other state, where there is an opponent that he sees as an opponent. I think he never saw, Mr. Naveen Patnaik as an opponent.
They tried their level best to get in it.
Yeah, but
then
they made
holding
right.
national executive
That's
in
right.
Odisha,
Yeah,
giving push.
But that very combative politics that
No,
Modi
that
is
is
known
not
for,
there.
that's not there. So in that sense, even if they marry and do a clean sweep, or they reverse the numbers, it's a happy situation for both.
Both of them. Okay. And we've also seen, remember that we did a story that day program on the fact that how, Prime Minister was otherwise very scathing in his criticism, was full of praise for Naveen Babu, his father.
Every time
he would speak in glowing terms and very affectionate rather than...
And it's
I don't remember any time in last one decade that he has, ever spoken ill of the Odisha leadership. He might have spoken about the government, but Naveen Patnaik, no, not at all.
Let me be the devil's advocate. It's one state and one political party which has the capacity to go the ADMK way, because there is no clear successor. Pandyan is not a politician. He's an officer from Tamil Nadu who worked as the secretary, worked with Mr. Patnaik very closely. Now he's a full-time politician. And there is no succession plan in place in Odisha. You cannot sit in Delhi and say, well, this is number 2, he's number 3. The last time I remember, even as a journalist, the biggest episode from Odisha was the Pyarilal Mahapatra affair. The big when takeover by Naveen Babu.
Number 2 and number 10 is the bureaucrat.
Bureaucrat. So post Naveen politics, post Naveen Odisha is going to be a very, very different template. Mr. Sharda, your comments on these numbers first.
Well, before I move ahead, just give me a few seconds to recap some of the discussions. See, Congress needs people like Revanta Reddy in Telangana. These are the people who will not make enemies, who will make friends. When you talk of BJP's foray into the south, remember BJP, how it has converted many situations from a very low partnership profile. If you remember the story of Karnataka, it was nowhere in Karnataka some years back, and it slowly inched its way into becoming the main party there. You look at Gujarat, where it was part of the Janata Front and slowly became the main party. And you look at Goa, where it was nowhere and then it wedged its way into Goa and took over Goa. Maharashtra was number 3, 4 always because Shiv Sena dominated, and now it is a dominant force. Similarly, if you look at Telangana, they would have been great, but for the mistake of agreeing to Chandrababu Naidu to oppose the division of the Telangana Andhra, which was actually supported by them. So they bled many of the leaders out of that. In case of Odisha, I can say that it is a waiting game. BJP has become the principal opposition. If they are tied together, it would have been not a good idea, because then our opposition is needed. So Congress would have got a headway if they had some leader there. Now that position remains vacant and BJP remains the main contender for the ruling party, to be the ruling party in Odisha. And Naveen Patnaik has been very clear that he wants to rule Odisha, has no ambitions for Delhi. So it's an ideal partnership. And I think that is where it should be, rather than giving place to some other third opposition party. So it is just a wait and see. BJP is not a dynasty party. It can wait for generation, 2 generation. It can wait for 1 election or 2nd election, while other parties can lose the existence itself when they lose 1 or 2 elections. So this is the difference where you have to look how BJP slowly, firmly puts its feet and slowly gathers its strength and becomes the main party. Even look at Tripura, forget any other place. So this is how you have to look at BJP rather only through Hindutva, glass or only through small local ideas.
No, no. In fact, I don't disagree with you. You know, I always tell this to my friends in my newsroom that a socially conservative party adheres to the most fundamental aspect of liberal politics, which is non-dynasticism. Anyone can become the president. Anyone can be take any position in Bharatiya Janata Party. But the parties which profess to be the liberal parties do not practice the most fundamental principle of liberalism, which is ability to absorb outsiders, and they're all dynastic in nature. So I get your point, but the big picture is that BJP is also winning because of there is something, or the edifice on which Prime Minister Modi stands, an edifice that he has built for himself. That is the plus. That that is something everyone needs to give in. Like for example, you have Republicans and Democrats, but Barack Obama made Democrats very different. Roosevelt made his party look very different. So the personality of Prime Minister Modi and the way he has built himself over a year, it's politics of hope, it's politics of governance, it's politics of delivery, and it's a place where I would say जहाँ पद और कद दोनों मिलता है.